The nature of teaching and learning. In public debates about quality of education and in teaching and learning, the dominant voice tends to be one that equates telling with teaching and learning with listening. Sadly, such a superficial view limits deeper understandings of what really comprises quality pedagogy and masks what expert teachers know and are able to do. To the casual observer, teaching may look simple, but the reality is that it's a highly complex and sophisticated business. Quality in teaching and learning can be seen in the way the knowledge, skills, and ability of the teacher are employed to develop meaningful pedagogic experiences for students. Such experiences are evident when teaching impacts learning and learning influences teaching. That dynamic relationship is dramatically different to the singular, one-way events of telling and listening. It's time to get serious about better understanding what they teachers do, how, and why, and challenge simplistic views of education for once and for all. It's interesting how highly valued theories of learning are while, in contrast, the practice of teaching is perceived as relatively simple and straightforward. But if quality in teaching is about creating powerful learning, then clearly a teacher has to know about and be able to apply learning theories in ways that purposefully shape their teaching. How that knowledge of learning influences that which teachers know and are able to do is briefly illustrated below. In so doing, it is also highlights the complexity of the work of teaching in ways not commonly discussed, and shows the sophisticated nature of teachers' professional knowledge and the expertise they must develop to be skillful, articulate, and capable educators. Above and beyond in teaching, to go beyond telling as teaching and listening as learning, consider what it takes to be knowledgeable of and capable of doing. In the following and what follows is just the tip of the iceberg, that is the professional knowledge developed and refined by teachers over their careers. Quality in teaching and learning requires an ability to create a need to know in students so they genuinely engage in learning. Knowing how to create an invitation to students to learn so they develop curiosity and interest in a subject is crucial. Moving students from being passive absorbers of information to active, thoughtful learners who question content and build their knowledge of an area is crucial to independence in learning, a hallmark of a successful student. Develop ways to engage a diversity of learners at the same time. This despite the inevitable variety of entry points to engagement in a subject, range of level of interest, motivation, and attitudes to the content, and perceived ability and style of learning. This is demanding work. Think, for example, about when a doctor diagnoses a patient, it's through a one-on-one consultation. However, when a teacher seeks to diagnose students' learning needs, it's through a one-to-many class size matters. And it happens multiple times every day. Draw out and use students' prior knowledge. Students don't enter the classroom as a blank slate. They come with the pre-existing ideas, views, opinions, experiences, and alternate facts that a teacher must be able to draw out and work with in order to build meaningful learning. Building integrated, well-connected, relevant, and usable knowledge of a subject is central to ensuring that such knowledge can and will be applied in the world that exists beyond the classroom walls. That means information must be processed, not just remembered. Linking content with experiences across contexts matters and translating ideas from one situation to another begins to highlight the complexity of teaching and how expert practice shapes quality students' learning. Conceptual understanding of content. A strong indication of a deep knowledge of a subject is evident in a person's conceptual understanding, and that goes well beyond simply knowing the facts. Working at the big picture level means a teacher must know how to conceptualize the central ideas that shape deeper understandings of a subject, purposefully making clear that which is intended to be learned, how and why, recognizing and responding to the student's difficulties in understanding concepts, being knowledgeable of and adapt at a range of teaching procedures to foster learning, and being able to ascertain students' understanding requires the development of pedagogical content knowledge, something that again draws attention to the specialist knowledge of the expert teacher. Building trusting relationships and safe learning environments. Just as quality can be seen in the way a teacher creates a dynamic relationship between teaching and learning, the same exists in the trusting relationships that must be fostered and developed between teacher and students, as well as students to students. To be able to support students to publicly share their ideas, speak up about uncertainty, and work through their doubts and confusion requires a teacher to possess interpersonal skills that foster trust, and confidence. Again, this offers insight into the sophisticated nature of their knowledge, skill, and ability. A complex practice. This brief outline barely touches on the enormous range of things that comprise a teacher's professional knowledge of practice. What it does do is start to illustrate how complex their work is and remind us of why it's important for it to be recognized, more highly valued, and rewarded. Research reminds us over and again that the primary influence of learning is quality teaching. Pushing back against superficial views of telling as teaching and listening as learning is one way of drawing serious attention to quality in teaching and learning. Expert teacher, expert teacher matters. It's time to get serious about better understanding what they do, how, and why, and challenge simplistic views of education for once and for all.